Hello and welcome to a new sort of live stream that I am retitling. Originally, this was an FF Live weekly wrap up, but there's two problems wrong with that. One is I don't do them weekly anymore, and two, a lot of these live streams are just Doomer vibes. And you know what? This one's probably going to be a little bit of Doomer vibes as well. So welcome to the FF Doomer live stream. I've even got a little bit of a red glow to it, Hey, I appreciate that, Mr. Mike. Thank you. Man, this was a little bit unprompted, and as always, let me know if the audio sounds all right, and everything like that. We're going to be doing a few minor updates in this live stream about my channel, and a few personal things, and then we're going to be getting into the current situation, the whole Israel-Palestine situation, and then we're going to go into why I would be talking about that here on a GunTuber live stream, and we'll see what happens. I did turn off monetization for this live stream in hopes that it actually reaches some of my viewers. While everyone is coming into the live stream, I'll give you guys just a super quick update that I wanted to give you. This is going to be the last live stream that you're going to see in this environment. I am actually moving. Me and my wife are moving out of the current house that we're in, and we're going to be doing that here in just about 2 weeks. So it's been insane, and those of you out there who are unfortunately looking at houses in this market, you know the pain. It is absolutely brutal, and it is a mess right now. So we are going through it, and I figured, you know what, I also want to utilize this last ability to have this space here in the exact way that it looks, because for the next probably 3 to 4 weeks, I won't have this backdrop. We're going to be finishing a new area where the backdrop's going into. All good things, positive things. I'm starting the video off positively because I just know that it's probably going to get a little bit negative, because that's just kind of the mood I'm in. We're going to talk about a few things tonight, and a lot of this, all of this, is opinion based. Okay, so if you've never came to a Firearm Freedom live stream before, these are just my opinions, okay? You're tuning into your regular average gun tubing guy that also works full-time as a general manager at a gun shop. And with that, I see a lot of things, I experience a lot of things when it comes to this industry, okay? Andrew, I appreciate that, buddy. That means the world. Now, when it comes to these thoughts and opinions, they are just that, thoughts and opinions. And a lot of the things that we are talking about in these live streams are solely opinion-based. So if you don't like my opinion, if you don't want to hear my opinion, there's a wonderful thing that you can do, which is just simply clicking off the live stream and forgetting I exist. So that's the ability that we have here. Here we go. Doomer live stream. We got some folks in here. Maybe this whole shutting off monetization actually worked for these live streams. Griff, my wife and I went through the same nightmare of a market 2 years ago. Yep, that was about the same. Hey, Steve, good to see you. Nick, good to see you. Yeah, lifetime of movies for a year, then house hunt for a year. Yeah, it was quite stressful finding a house and actually trying to outbid the crazy people in this market is not easy. So that's a fun time and no money. So that's great. Thanks, man. I appreciate the comment on the wall. So what are we going to talk about today? I have been seeing an inflow, so I kind of want to blanket this statement. The reason why I'll be touching a little bit on the whole Israel-Palestine thing a little bit in today's videos. One, it's annoying me, the rhetoric that is out there on the gun community here on YouTube and Instagram and social media, and all of a sudden now the gun tubing community is all, specialists in the foreign affairs that are going on in the world, and that's great to see. But also, this is affecting heavily the gun community on the front lines as far as the customers that are coming in. So that is what we're going to be talking about primarily in the second half of this live stream, and things that I've seen that are very troubling in the way of panic buying again, in the way of ammo shortages potentially again, in the way of idiots coming in gun stores again. And that's the goodies that we're going to be getting into in this doomer of a live stream. But first, let's talk a little bit about the whole Israel-Palestine situation. It's amazing to me going on social media, which I've taken quite the hiatus from personally scrolling on social media lately. Over the past few weeks, I have deleted Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that from my phone, and have just simply gone into my desktop to get into the social media platforms to make a post for my job, which is content creation. As you can imagine, with this being my job, it is nearly impossible to stay off social media personally for an extended period of time. It just doesn't work. My job makes me have to stay updated on current events, and it's just very difficult to do that these days without following actual unbiased sources and finding videos out there online about what is actually going on, because I guarantee you're not going to find that when it comes to mainstream news. And with the Israel-Palestine conflict kind of breaking out, all of a sudden, my news feed over and over and over and over again is other gun content creators here in the YouTube space, on the Instagram space, on the Facebook space, all preaching to me about foreign affairs. And why they are doing that, I have absolutely no idea. This is not the space for that, yet all of a sudden, this is all we're going to talk about. Why? It is because this is my opinion, the YouTube community is hurting right now. This has been a very slow summer in the way of YouTube, right? There is not a lot going on. People are running out of money. They don't have money to spend on frivolous items. And let me tell you, the things behind me, aside from maybe one of those things, can all be marked as pretty much frivolous items. You need basically one good rifle to maybe protect yourself in that inevitable event that probably is never going to come. So most of this is frivolous, therefore people don't have the extra money to spend, and in my opinion, that makes people not really care as much about a YouTube review, because it's about something that what probably right now is going on is that most people can't afford. So therefore views are plummeting. And when views plummet, you have content creators that are going to find any little ability they have to capitalize on a tragedy just like media, right? Just like mainstream media, just like the news. And it's infuriating to me because it is so overplayed, overdone, that I can barely watch YouTube anymore, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. My YouTube feed now and my YouTube history is primarily skateboarding videos, and anything else that is not what is constantly in this community, which is just clickbaity thumbnails and pistol braces that is not even informative in the video that you're talking about. You're just grasping at straws to try to find views anywhere you can. And now we have this wonderful conflict breaking out where you can capitalize off of it by talking about your experience in that world and what rifle you need to buy to protect yourself against some invading force, to try to capitalize again on some more views off of the public to just survive another week. It is infuriating, and it is something that is just getting frustrating. If you're wondering my views on the Israeli-Palestine situation, I'm not really going to discuss all of those views here because I guarantee it is probably completely against the standard narrative in my normal mindset and just my experience in researching these things. But it is also, I will say, amazing to me the propaganda that is out there on all sides of the aisle and how easily somebody can just immediately go to one side or the other and just eat up like crazy the propaganda that is out there on the mainstream media. You have both sides of the aisle brutally murdering unarmed civilians that don't need to be murdered. You have both sides of the aisle not operating under any sort of standard rules of war. And you have both sides of the aisle acting like terrorists, because that's exactly what is going on both sides of the aisle. So it's incredible to me how one side can so easily, as they've been doing for hundreds of years, point the finger at the other side and say they are the problem and they have a cult following. And then the other side says, well, wait a second, they are the problem. And at the end of the day, one of the sides has access to a majority of the mainstream media in civilized countries, so therefore that is the propaganda that you're generally going to be seeing. Whereas the other side has propaganda elsewhere, and each side has been entrenched for, again, decades upon decades in this long drawn out thing. It's just incredible to me, though, how many people just don't really get that and don't understand that the conflict over there on all sides of the aisle is horrendous. It's not good. Innocent people by the thousands are dying for whatever reasons that are coming about. Whether that's on the Israeli side or the Palestinian side, you have a boatload of innocent people that are not holding guns that are dying every single day now. And yet you have one side saying, well, wait a second, they're not dying innocently and everything that they did is because of this. That's why we're justified in killing innocent people. Whereas the other side is saying, well, hold on a second. The terrorists are shielding themselves underneath the innocent civilians that are there, and they're inadvertently supporting them. Therefore, innocent civilians can die. That's just how it works now. And you know what? If you live in an area where there are terrorists, sorry, you're gonna probably die. You maybe can get out, maybe not. Who knows? Missiles are falling everywhere. Good luck. And kids die on all sides of the aisle. That's not great to me. I don't want to support any side of that. I don't want to fund any side of that. We are already running out of money in this world. There is no money left. So when I see a conflict like that pop up, that I don't really know why the United States has anything to do with it other than feeding into the propaganda that's fucking funneling into the country right now, why we need to also give them money we no longer have, that we're just printing out of nothing because nothing is worth anything anymore to our dollar. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out my ass. But we'll see. I'm sure people will be super salty in the comment section. It is what it is. International news websites for sure. I've seen a few. Here, let's see. We got some NFA stuff. Had to drop the F-bomb, Mike. It just came out. So yeah, that is frustrating the shit out of me. That I can't go through my day without some look. I don't give a shit what side you support. I really don't. I have, my own personal opinions on the whole thing, right? That I'm not going to fully dig into here, but I don't give a shit what side you support or don't support. It's just amazing to me. It is amazing the just brutal hypocrisy of somebody getting on social media, especially somebody with a following, and trying to say that only one side is brutally murdering civilians right now. It is incredible the amount of dancing around this whole thing that somebody has to do to try to somehow showcase that the murdering of innocent civilians is justified. Whereas every single other conflict, that has been a huge issue, right? You don't just, hey, terrorists and Al-Qaeda are hiding amongst the normal population all over the Middle East. It was never okay to just say, well, that's not our problem, right? These people must be harboring terrorists, therefore carpet bomb the whole place. Just women, children, universities, it doesn't matter. Just it's all gone. That's what you get, and it's gone too far, therefore we are the terrorists now. That's never been how it works, and it's amazing to me, again, the dancing around the truth. And the reason why I'm talking so heavily about this is because it's all in the gun community. Why is this in the gun community? I understand that you're trying to talk, again, about views, but what is the reasoning that you get, that with your following, you're just going to regurgitate the propaganda news that is out there? And you know what? If you were in a different part of the world, you'd be spouting off more bullshit propaganda of whatever they're feeding you. At the end of the day, 99% of us are not there on the ground seeing everything that's going on, and 99% of us don't have a fucking clue. So let's all get on social media and talk like we do. That's great. That's further helping the gun community. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, the answer is vote harder. That's you are doing a service that no one else can do. Thanks a lot. You're really helping out. Correct. Yeah, the U.S. should not be funding anybody's war. I mean, money doesn't matter anymore. It's a joke trying to talk about any sort of foreign policy like it even is not already pre-planned into the game, right? But, so now, because of the propaganda that's forced into the news, mind you, the reason why there's propaganda is because people would like to start a war. Why do people like to start wars in countries? Because there's money in wars. There's funding in wars. There's defense contracts in wars. They don't give a shit about who's right and who's wrong. They give a shit about the ability to fund both sides and get money from both sides and profit off people dying and Americans dying and unarmed civilians dying. That's what they care about. So, again, vote for your person who's got the funniest, badass slogan about the whole situation, about terrorists and 9/11. And then, we can go from there and see how much we continue down this shitstorm that we're currently in. But when it comes to the propaganda that's trying to start wars right now that the gun community is feeding into, we now get the average panic buyer once again figuring out, hey, now is the time that I need to get a rifle because the news says that now the Second Amendment matters because there might be paragliders coming into the United States. And now we need, actually, not we, Israel needs a Second Amendment. Therefore, this is now everyone's going to come out and buy a gun. So that leads me to my other frustration that's in this world, and that's what a lot of people don't see, right? Anybody that works in customer service at all, in any capacity, anyone, right? Even in, bars, restaurant service, whatever. If you work in customer service, you see everyone. You see all types of the world. You see the people that are walking out there in the day-to-day life. And I know it's a scary thought, but a lot of the people that say the stupidest shit you've ever seen in your life on the internet are actually real people, and they're walking around throughout your day-to-day life, and you get to meet these people face to face and see what their mannerisms are actually like. And let me tell you, the idea the like small fragment in most people's minds that think that there is actually a large amount of gun owners that are actually like freedom loving, true freedom loving people that are out there that aren't just eating up the propaganda in a super size me package is so slim to none that I would almost say it is less than like a 0.1% of the people that I see on a day-to-day basis and that I've seen in the multiple states that I've worked in the gun industry that are actually about it, that do actually walk the walk and talk the talk in getting out of the propaganda scene. And I'm not even trying to claim I'm one of those people. I'm just simply claiming that out of that group I'm generally not along with the rhetoric, and it's refreshing to see that very, very, very small percentage that's also not along with whatever the wave is going and whatever direction that we're going to go. Whether it's something over here that involves something else medically, or it's over here, right, that involves some sort of a conflict. But oh wait, we're going to fall into the biggest propaganda of all, which is let's believe in all of the conspiracy. Let's get right to the edge. This is what I've been seeing all over. It's great. We're going to get right to the edge. Everything is right. Everything is right. Everything is right. And then all of a sudden, what is our solution? There's one saving grace. There's one superhero involved, and it's the next politician. All you have to do is vote in the next politician. And my friends, the conspiracy will be over. It's just that easy, right? And they've gotten you. It's you're worse off actually, I think, than the blind people that are walking around and just eating up whatever the mainstream news says to them, because you have been fed the biggest lie, which is to believe a conspiracy, but to believe that the answer to that conspiracy is voting and is the system that is currently having all of this happen. That's the biggest thing that I can't understand. I cannot get behind it. You believe that everyone is corrupt, that there's so many issues in the world, that almost all of the entire political world is corrupt but your side, right? And you believe that somehow in all of that, you are not the answer. You don't have the power. I'm sorry, you do have the power by just casting a ballot. And that the system that they have designed to put you down into a position that you cannot do a goddamn thing until it's too late, that is the system that is going to fix this reality that we live in today. Okay. When it comes to people walking in, this is what I see. This is what I see every day. I see people coming in. I see people buying a rifle whenever there is panic. I see people buying the ammo whenever there is panic. I see people coming back in 3 months later, never shooting anything, being 500 pounds, mounting their iron sights all in the front of the gun and mounting a little Amazon light that's broken on the side, all because they, don't tread on me and then vote harder next year. This is the majority of the gun community. And then it's even more agitating when I get online and the people that are out there with millions of followers, with millions of people that are listening to every word they say. These people have more power than the mainstream news. And what do we get? We get what can shoot through what. Let's make a funny comment. Let's talk about the ATF and talk about voting harder to get somebody in that's going to talk about it. Let's talk about donating to this organization that sponsors me. Let's talk about this brand new gun that's stupid, that doesn't make any sense, but somebody's paying me to talk about. Instead of talking about the shit that actually matters. And that's just, that shows you where we are in the grand scheme of things. It really does. It shows you as we progress down this path, as we progress down 99% of the population not knowing what the fuck is going on, that there's not really too much hope if we continue down this path. Internet has successfully taken the brains out of 99% of the people. And let me tell you, if you're in a political party at this point in time, the brain has been taken out by the internet and the phone and everything else that's out there. Your ability to critically think at this point has been removed. I know that's going to piss people off, but at this point, it's just the reality of the situation. And again, in seeing it every single day in retail, it's not a sample size of one. I'm seeing hundreds of times this happening just over and over and over again. It's like you're printing out an NPC printer, right? An NPC, if there was ever a thing as reincarnation, right? These people are on their first go, and that's like 99% of the population. And you're just getting a printer, and it's just print, copy, 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 copy. And it's the same thing of everyone walking in, living a meme, walking throughout society. And then again, there's like 1% of people that walk in and actually understand what's going on. And understand that Jesus, what are we gonna do? What is going to happen? What is the future for my son? That's what I'm thinking about right now. When I'm seeing kids walking around with full internet access with an iPad this close to their face all the time, what is the future for my son? I guarantee you it's not going to be that. There will be no iPads 2 inches from the face. Let's catch up on any comments here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Soapbox, ballot box, cartridge box, and the pine box, without a doubt. So what a tangent. Wow. Somebody really thought that giving 8 billion people the ability to anonymously say whatever they want on a global network. Yeah, great idea. I couldn't agree more. And it's hypocritical. I'm a YouTuber. I'm sitting here as part of the problem. But you know what? The internet is that great debate, right? It can be used as a positive to learn things, right? It can be used as a positive to really dig deep, but you have to have the critical thinking ability that most people don't have. Or it can be used to destroy humanity. It's a wonderful world, right? It's awesome. Let's go down this path. We have so much going on right now. I would not at all say that it's going out on a limb, that we're in ripe territory for false flag situations to get us involved into a war, whoever that may be, whether it is Israel doing a false flag or Palestine committing a terrorist attack. Whoever it is, it doesn't really matter who it is, or whether it's our own government doing some sort of a false flag attack. We are ripe for one of those right now, on the brink of World War III, and that's just the reality of the situation. So be on a lookout for that. And let me tell you, there's no quirky, edgy YouTube video that's going to get you prepared for that. You just have to be kind of understanding of the possibilities of that situation, and that's just our current reality. We have Lake City, who is at the moment probably canceling commercial contracts, at least for a temporary amount of time. And I can tell you, working in the gun industry, that over the past 24 hours, I have seen all of my distribution channels go dry on 223 and 556, and the price already jump up $2 a box cost per round in the past 24 hours. So I would be wary of that, and just understand that we are very likely on the brink of going into that situation. And if you think about a possibility of a war, the ammunition crisis goes much worse. That's the reality of the situation, because like other wars in our past, well, we need to sacrifice, right, for the wars elsewhere. And that's just, that's what's probably going to go down. So it is what it is. You know, this community, there are many great content creators still. I have a few very close friends. They're all smaller content creators that are excellent, that do their job well, which is to do reviews and offer people unbiased and honest content. And I watch those people religiously. They're excellent at what they do. The vast majority of this community, I'm almost convinced at this point there's some sort of greater conspiracy going on, because I just can't believe that people are this stupid out there. I just don't understand. I mean, because here's the thing: either the content creator is just, you know, that dumb, which is not the case. These most of the time are very intelligent people, but that shows you how dumb the population is, right? The entire population essentially wants the trash TV of YouTube. That's what the population wants. It's either people that want stupid shit that doesn't make any sense and makes all gun owners look like idiots and people that don't know what they're doing, because the majority of them don't. Or you got like little kids on here that are looking at shit they should not be looking at. So, you know, that's the community that we have currently. I hope that people will start waking up to the propaganda that is out there in the world. Okay? You have, starting early 60s, right? Early 60s, you have the first kind of go at mind manipulation with MK Ultra, subliminal messages in the television sign-offs at the end of the day. All of those things, right? Government God, obey and consume, you know, government God, and, you know, rebellion will not be tolerated. Things like that, right? That's in the 60s. Imagine what they're doing now. Imagine what is going, you know, that long ago with that little technology. Why did they do that? They did that because, you know, communists, right? That's why they did that. Sure. They did that because the human mind subliminally accepts images much, much easier when we are just sitting mindlessly like a vegetable, right, in front of the television. So it's a lot easier to feed you bullshit. Now, when you go to fast forward in this day and age with YouTube and high-speed internet and the ability to see all of this stuff as fast as humanly possible, you can imagine how devastating the subliminal propaganda messages probably are, right? And that is why that if you go to another country or anywhere else, the rhetoric is going to be completely different. And that is because they're seeing a different form of propaganda to whoever pulls the strings, wherever they are, is wanting them to see. So, you know, not to trail off on a completely different path, but I think this all kind of goes into one of this annoying theme that I'm just seeing, and it's just tiring, man. I'm tired of it. I don't want to log into the computer and just see this shit all day long. It's just annoying. So, you know, I don't know, man. That's Doomer it up. That's where I'm at. That's the level that I'm at. You know, I can't take one more clickbaited pistol brace thumbnail in this. I can't do one more. I can't even, I can't see one more of those at this point in time. I can't tune in one more time to see some vet bro talking about how fucking murdering innocent civilians in Palestine is a-okay, but innocent civilians in Israel is not, and somehow, because it's the other way around, it's not terrorism, and, you know, we need to give them money. And this is a gun channel, so listen to me, because I know what I'm talking about, and this is the sponsor you need to buy from. Thanks, have a great day. You know, like, that's, shit. This one's not getting monetized. That's all right. I'm not even gonna try to click that button. And I sincerely apologize ahead of time, because I know some people have their children. God bless you watching some of these live streams. If I haven't made it clear already, this is like a not safe for work live stream, and I try to keep it as clean as I can, but I just can promise you already, I'm a very energetic person originally from New York. I have a hard time controlling my language. So if you see a Doomer post in the title, just don't have your kids watching this one because it's going to get a little bit heated. Where do I see the gun community going? Well, I think there's a very high possibility, maybe not of World War III, but the United States being involved in some sort of a conflict. Right now, in the gun industry, this is the lowest of the low. There is nothing left. We have not seen anything like this as far as a drought in sales in years. We referred to previous eras as the Trump slump, where a lot of people were not buying guns because they felt like there were not as many gun control bills going through because Trump was a Republican. Ironically, that's when a majority of the modern day gun control even went through. So thank you there. But most of the people were not buying anything at that point in time. This is even worse. So, if the United States gets involved in any sort of a conflict, I can almost promise you that the shortages that you are going to see in the gun world, in gun shops, are going to be immense. That the amount of gun shops that are going to be dropping like flies due to not having enough sales is going to be immense. It is happening all over the place right now. So that strikes a lot of fear in me, not for a job path, but primarily for an ability to buy firearms moving forward. You already have rural areas that do not have that many gun stores. The worse this industry gets, the less gun stores there's going to be. Now, companies like Palmetto State Armory, that are quickly becoming the Amazon of the gun world, may help kind of counteract that a little bit, but you still need a gun to go to a gun store to transfer it. And if there's no gun stores near you, that gets a lot more difficult. So any sort of a conflict right now that the United States is involved in, more so than just funneling even more money into, is going to be a massive blow to the gun community. On top of that, if there's any sort of a large-scale conflict, you can bet your ass that Lake City is going to completely stop any ammunition moving into the United States on the civilian side of things. And Lake City provides a majority of the brass and supplies and ammunition for almost all of the United States ammunition manufacturers, let alone if other companies like Federal or Remington get any sort of military contracts for their ammunition. So when it comes down to it, that is detrimental to the gun community. Right now, I'm seeing troubling rhetoric in the panic buyers. I can judge a situation by panic buying. There's a lot of times where a situation will happen on mainstream, right? Something is going on, but no one's panic buying. That tells me that the average dipshit that doesn't know what's going on and is just going with the flow. Where do I go? What am I supposed to do? I should buy a gun right now, I think. I'll sell it in a month, but I don't know. Let's go to a gun shop and see what it's like to buy a gun. I voted for gun control last month, but voting, that's what we need to do. Those are the people walking around, and you can judge, right, by what is going on, by how they act. That's kind of your cue if you go into a gun shop and just ask them about the panic buying, because that shows you what's the propaganda doing. Is it actually targeting these people? This is. I have had about 20 people in the past 3 days come in, buy a gun, and say, I am buying a gun right now because of what's going on in Israel. So the panic buyers are coming out in force, and that's a dangerous game. That's a dangerous game right now, because that shows you the propaganda is working. And it also shows you that if something happens right now, like a war, and if you see the gun community and support there, you see the support on the conservative side, and you see the support on the Democratic side, just like when GWAT started up, you have a really, really powder keg that's filled up, right? That's ready to go for a war. Everyone's on board with it right now, and that is why I'm nervous about some sort of a false flag or about some sort of an event that could cause that to happen. And again, bringing it back to the actual gun world and the gun community, pistol braces aren't going to matter when there's no gun shops around and there's not shit to buy and there's no ammunition, and what ammunition is left is $50 a box. The gun culture, if there's anything left, can be immediately gone. That's how quickly that can happen when it's already on its absolute last death breaths at this point in time. Is it going to be that quick? I don't know. It could be. It could not be. I have no idea. But what I can tell you is from working in the industry, I've seen troubling things and trends from all over the country in gun stores. People going from hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in profit to less than $50,000 a month in profit, cutting all staff, massive, awesome companies like Wyndham Weaponry just all of a sudden, poof, gone, bankrupt, not coming back. Gun shops all over the place where I'm at that are bankruptcy. It's happening all around us. Our economy is collapsing. I'm telling you, all the signs are pointing to some type of a conflict that's going to be really bad. You should probably just understand that, try to pull your mind outside the propaganda, and just do what you need to do to prepare to protect yourself and your family. Not against a specific force, just against some sort of thing happening. That's what I see. That's what was kind of the purpose to this live stream this evening. Winners, what's going on, buddy? So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. The gun community on social media is, I'm telling you, it's been low in views, and they're grasping at straws to try to be relevant. And if that's capitalizing off of some major problem or catastrophe that's going on, that's what they're going to do. If it's clickbait titles, that's what they're going to do. They're trying to capitalize on whatever they possibly can. And the edgy bullshit videos that try to act like they're going against the grain, but ultimately they're just telling you the same shit that's been spouted in an FPC email that's getting sent out to millions of people that sounds like super edgy, like they're going to get, something done. I'm just calling it like I see it. And again, if you don't like the opinions, if you don't like the rhetoric, don't watch it. It's that easy. I primarily do gun reviews. That is what this channel is. If you noticed, there is never a time where I am going to try to capitalize off some other thing and I lose views because of that. When everyone else is going to be talking about the new greatest thing, and to try to be the first to talk about it or to start drama with another channel so they can get a bunch of views, even if it's negative views, it doesn't matter. And I want to do a video on a Benelli M1 Super 90 that I just got because it's sick. Is everyone buying a Super 90? No, there's probably not going to be a lot of searches from that. I don't care anymore, man. I just don't care. I want to do a gun review. I want somebody to be able to tune in and say, that's a good gun review that talks about the gun. Am I sponsored? Absolutely. Why am I sponsored? Because these videos cost me hundreds and thousands of dollars to make. I have been critically in financial debt since I've started the channel, and the sponsorship is about the only goddamn way that I can try to stay enough to break even. Not even to make money, to break even. And I'm finally getting to the point where I'm maybe breaking even as YouTube is slaughtering my views because I'm not going along with the rhetoric. I, again, know of other channels out there that are like that just do good content, good reviews. GB Guns, Fit and Fire, Hop, all these people, Brass Facts, they do good, reliable reviews. These are people that I watch religiously, okay? They're all slightly smaller, probably going to get bigger. I hope they do. I hope they blow up, and I hope they stay the same that they are right now. Support those channels. Support people out there that are not promoting the bullshit propaganda that is going on every day on YouTube, because the more that those people get supported, the more that nothing is going to change. I don't care if if you want to support me, awesome. Support the other channels out there that have standard reviews. Just reviews. It's a gun community. Review the fucking gun. Just talk about the gun. Say if it's bad or good. That's it. That's it. That's all we want. We don't want a foreign policy. If you're just going to talk about bullshit that's part of the mainstream propaganda, that's definitely not helping the situation. So just do a gun review. That's it. That's it. Don't try to stay relevant. Don't try to start drama. It sucks. You're not going to make $1 million, but you're going to have good, humble content. And you know what? At the end of the day, when I get out of work at my full-time job, I want to go on YouTube and I want to watch good, humble content. That's why primarily these days, I haven't even been watching the gun community content, because it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. So, you know what? 45 minutes later, did we accomplish anything in this live stream? I don't know. I don't know. Really, if I'm being totally honest with you guys, I wanted a platform to just kind of vent tonight. I don't know that I'm really offering that much. Maybe a slightly different position or understanding. I don't even consider myself like a YouTube personality. But there are a few thousand people that subscribe to this. And you know what? I like the idea of having a live stream like this that's very candid and that is different from what you generally see. What pushed me over the edge is I saw a few mainstreamers trying to be edgy and talk about like a conspiracy and what's going on. They got everything right, and then they're like, but vote for my guy, and that's what'll save it. And I'm like, I'm gonna lose my mind. So here we are, offering no solutions, just opinions. Maybe we can all get there together. And looks like an old lesbian woman. I get it. I like his reviews, man. I like his reviews. And he's always been a super cool guy when I've had communication with him behind closed doors, on the DMs, not like I actually, know him in person. But let me catch up on any last comments. Good vent, bro. We're with you on that. It's healthy sometimes. Yeah, you know what? I think it is. And maybe this was helpful. Maybe some of you guys are like, oh, I didn't think about it like that. Doomer shit, man. Doomer shit. The ASMR reels, I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm going to try doing those. It seems like YouTube likes the reels lately, and I kind of dig making them, because it's just like fun to, I don't know, showcase cool guns. So, people seem to be enjoying them so far, and as long as people are enjoying them, I'm gonna keep doing them. So we'll see. The videos, if you guys haven't noticed, have been like once a week right now. If you missed it in the first part of the live, I'm moving in 2 weeks to a new house, and having a 5-month-old and working 2 jobs and all this other shit gets tough. And the second job, YouTube, it is what it is. It's a video a week right now. Hopefully it'll be more when we move, and it'll be a cooler spot that you guys can enjoy. Gunwall's not going anywhere. It's being moved to the new place, of course. So that's about it, guys. Share this around, piss off some of your friends, and be different. Get out of the propaganda. Try to be the 1%. Try to be that 0.0001% that just doesn't listen to the bullshit. That has a critical mind. Don't be an NPC walking around. Don't be a panic buying zombie that's just walking into an establishment trying to buy a gun to sell it a month later. You're better than that. Okay? Friends wouldn't let friends do that. So try to get out of that. Comment down below what you thought of the live stream. that might help change the algorithms, you know? You never know. Maybe we can bring up wholesome content again. Guys, thank you so much for watching, taking the time with me on your Friday night to get a nice Doomer rant. And, you know, I hope you found it somewhat helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more great content coming soon.